It's the Big 550, Jake Hansler, Kelly Jackson.
Yes.
I am auditioning right now as we speak as the rugged outdoorsman type for Sharon Tucci. You are the president of, and I know your name these days. I always know you as TalentPlus. I know it's more than that. What do you call yourself these days?
TalentPlus is our corporate name. We have different divisions. Being in a smaller market, we do a little bit of everything in the entertainment side of things.
Mm-hmm.
So for just 30 years, we did on-camera, print, voiceover, kids, the seniors, that world,
Mm-hmm.
and Central Models came into play when we would start developing tall, thin, young women and men for the national market.
Like me?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that beauty market. Laugh, laugh.
Okay.
And then about 10 years ago, we started entertainment. So it's live entertainment with bands. So we do, our teams are experts in all those areas, different areas. And so TalentPlus is my corporate name.
Right. I have gone to TalentPlus as a filmmaker many times and have used many of your stars and your talent in films. A wonderful roster. Tell us, though, as I was looking the other, and I've known Sharon for years and years and years, and I was looking at her website, and it says you are looking for the rugged outdoorsman type.
Yes.
That's what it says.
Yes.
And we were talking off the air what that means, and there's a new kind of, I don't want to call it a slogan, a new characterization or a category.
Yeah, and it's actually on Wiki. I just checked it out. So it was the hipster, and then it was the metrosexual, and then a couple years ago we couldn't find enough what I call lumbersexual.
Lumbersexual. And what is that a combination of?
Well, it's the guy that has moved on to be more authentic, or it's really more rugged. There is a difference, and I just read it was funny. It was like the difference between a lumbersexual and a lumberjack. Mm-hmm. And a lumbersexual, of course, still has smooth hands. He still takes care of his skin, and he's fit. And lumberjacks are just broken bones, scars, weathered face. But in advertising, it's really become more authentic. They want, when they say real people, we need real people. So that is some, a look that is very active in our advertising world. I mean, in our region, it's very, there's a lot of ag business, there's farm business, pharmaceutical. And so the look has expanded into a more real kind of non-produced casting photo.
Right. Do you think that's because of, social media has changed so much, but the world is just so different, and they want kind of a mix of what the world represents?
Absolutely. In casting, then we get casting breakdowns from breakdown services out of Los Angeles, and it very clearly defines, the casting roles, what they're trying to cast. And almost every one will be ethnically ambiguous.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have different categories of ethnicities, and then there's this area that they want to make sure that it's covered, because our world has become a very blended world. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because they're very beautiful people,
right.
And from across the world. And so when we now have somebody that we sign, they can cross over in a couple different categories, because in casting, they're very specific about what they're looking for.
So you do, and I know you guys have worked together a lot,
Mm-hmm.
so you do not only local projects, but you do from all over the country?
Yeah, we have clients who will, we also represent talent from New York to Los Angeles that are on our roster. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of a flight, so mm-hmm. Now in our world, which is another educational, Jay will appreciate this, but actors can self-tape their auditions and send them to casting. So they don't have to, fly to casting wherever that casting is. And we do a lot out of Los Angeles. Where it's training the actor now not only to be skilled in their craft of acting or look like they're not acting, mm-hmm. but also in the technical side to learn how to self-tape an audition, so that there's more technical skills required. So we encourage them to find their circle of friends, usually somebody that's about 16 years old who really knows technology to set up a little, studio in their basement, and they can audition for projects all over the country. So we do that. We are really focused in Chicago, and we have some activity out of Atlanta, which is, the second LA market now. There's so much film, thanks to Tyler Perry. And so we are, it's really, and St. Louis talent no longer compete locally. They really compete on a national level.
For people like me that have that rugged outdoorsman look that you want, everyone thinks that they're kid. Everyone thinks that they themselves are quality talent, and oftentimes they are. But how do you get started? What do you do? How do I sign up with Sharon Tucci?
Well, we have a pretty simple process on our website. We just have people download, digital snapshots. We have them fill out if they have an experience, and experience in any kind of performance, whatever that may be. And there's, we have doctors on our roster. I mean, professionals that have done theater maybe when they were in college, and they've developed their career in another W-2 world, and still love performing and are doing camera work. So our roster are not just people who developed in theater, but maybe have a look. And so sometimes, like in print, it's just about a look.
Right. Now I'm going to take off my shirt. I want you to give me the honest assessment.
I'm ready. Kelly, you ready for this?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Come on.
And also, again, there is the print side, but there's also the acting side, and that's where I've used your folks and have found it to be great. For those would-be actors, either commercial actors, movie actors, television actors, you also look for them.
Oh, yeah, all the time. I mean, that's why we go to the theater. We support. There's so much more independent filmmaking from students from Lindenwood and Webster. And there's, so we're always looking at up-and-coming directors to be able to give our actors an opportunity to do film work. There may not be a lot of money involved in that, but it sure helps develop the resume.
Right.
Has it surprised you that someone just walked in or sent you their information with hardly any acting experience, and their career's just taken off?
It's not. They really do need to have a skill set. It's like any profession. They need to know the basics, and there's so many young talent that have.
Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry.
That have moved on to Los Angeles thinking it's that easy, and it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's very competitive.
Sharon Tucci, TalentPlus. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Always
And
a
what's your
pleasure
website?
seeing you.